time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
Everybody has biases, right? Like we bring a lot to the table. It doesn't matter who you are, and you can try to work through those and overcome those, which I do. I'm terrible at it, and I try to always make them very well known up front. I'm going to do that for today's episode, man. Hook 'em. I am a diehard Texas Longhorn fan, have been for as long as I can remember. And today's player, the third, perhaps, installment of the Texas Longhorn defensive line edition. And I can't help it. Jordan Elliot comes in number 27 on this list. Now, would Jordan Elliot consider himself a Longhorn? He transferred from Texas to Missouri. It did much better at Missouri than it did at Texas. But this is a guy that's been on my radar for a long time, all the way back to my coaching days. He was a Houston kid. We'll dive into that. But we had Hassan Ridgeway, then we had Charles Omenihu, and now we had Jordan Elliott. It just seems like every year we're adding some Texas defensive tackle. A lot of that has to do with Chris Kusarik. He's a Texas guy as well, Texas Tech. But anyway, like the connections are there. And Jordan Elliott is somebody that the 49ers have had their eye on. This is the 5th year, and that's the year he's going in. He came out, the 2020 draft with Javon Kinlaw, and the 49ers did a lot of work on Jordan Elliott there, and finished his rookie deal up in Cleveland. Probably took a longer start than a lot of people thought, but shined and has lived into his potential. So he comes in number 27 on our list, and I want to say thank you to Josh, executive producer of today's show. Fun player, wearing jersey number 92 out there, and he's a big dude. He came out of the draft 6'4", 303. And, I was at training camp the other day, and I was like, man, he looks bigger than 6'4", 303. I think he's added on a consistent amount of weight since the draft. And whenever Chris Kusarik, who we're going to play the clip a little bit later in this little episode, he said he's coming in at 320. When he came out of the draft, like in my write-up here, I'll go to my write-up real quick. This was my pre-draft write-up before the 2020 draft, okay? I said, insane athleticism and body, looks like a tight end playing on the defensive line. No bad weight on him. Well, it seems like, 5 years in the NFL has done him right. And so he came in 6'4", 303. Now they got him playing closer to 320. He's added 17 pounds. And so that has translated into a different play style than I thought he was going to bring into the NFL. I thought he was going to be one of those hybrid pass rushers from inside. He's turned into a pretty stout run defender. So it's pretty cool what the NFL can do for you. Now, his arm length, 32 3/8. All right, shorter arms. 26 years old. Ran a 5.02 40. 1.71 10-yard split. All right. 27.5-inch vert. All right. Like, he's just streamlined. And he's strong leverage player that, man, he's just stout. Like, Debo, like, Debo's not huge. He's just freaking stout and thick. Like, that is exactly what Jordan Elliott is, just at the defensive tackle position. 24 bench press reps, pretty solid. You enter in just his combine measurements. Now, this was 20 pounds ago. Devin Still Sr., Sharif Floyd, Marcel Darius, those guys. But he didn't play like them coming out of college, at Texas or at Missouri. And it took him kind of 2 to 3 years with the Browns to get to the point where it was like, oh, this is the type of pro he was supposed to be. This kind of all-around defensive tackle that can be a space mover and kind of bigger-bodied guy that can get penetration. It just took a while to figure that out for the Browns and for Jordan Elliott, and that's what he is now. You're getting a much better prospect that the Browns invested a lot in and gave him, 2.5 years of development before it started to pay dividends. And the Niners just get to pick up right where they left off. And he's been good through training camp so far. By, the 101s, which I don't put a lot of stock in, he's the guy. Like, you're looking for 101s, it's probably Javon Hargrave and Jordan Elliott as far as the defensive tackle guys. Now, he's a Houston guy, went to Westside High School, born and raised down in Houston, shot put, discus, All-American, Army All-American Bowl, first team All-American, 4-star recruit, all these different things. Goes to Texas and didn't get the playing time. Texas rotates everybody. but he wanted starting position, transfers to Missouri, and it worked out for him. He was SEC All-Second Team in 2018, SEC All-First Team in 2019. He was just all over the place. And he even won, when he was at Texas, the Team Lifter of the Year award, which was huge. I think that's huge. So workout warrior, you see it. And even that he's added pounds, like you still see, this is a dude that enjoys the gym. No doubt about it. Was a rotational player for the Browns. His rookie year, his sophomore year, before he became a full-time starter. And when Chris Kusarek was asked about it, I'll just play the clip. Pretty good praise.
Again, it goes back to, we really liked him coming out of college, out of Missouri. And when we were looking at him, and then, we got drafted by Cleveland and played for Chris Kiffin, who was my assistant in 2019, and then played for Jim Swartz last year, who's one of my main mentors in the NFL. He gave him my first job in the NFL, and just watching him there, I think Jordan just brings the size element that, a guy like DJ Jones brought to the middle of our defense, that 320-pound plus frame that also brings extreme, explosion through contact, ability to knock back double teams and dominate singles in the run game, and then a big man that can really reduce the pocket into the quarterback's lap with the strength and the power he's able to generate, through his lower body, through his hands. Just a guy that, early on we kind of targeted, and then, just the work that he did in Cleveland, the people that we contacted there that I know really well, said that, thought he'd be a really good fit personality-wise here, and he's been awesome. Brings size to our defense, strength to our defense, knock back to our defense from the end.
My two words just after, a week-long training camp, that's when we recorded this episode, is right after the first week of full pads, is strength and leverage. Like that, the size is there. That probably should have been added, but strength, leverage, that's what comes across. Now, the 49ers don't do a lot of double teams. They do combo blocks a little bit different. He's going to be one of the guys that is tasked with, look, dude, you take on that double team, duo, whatever. That we're going to see. Can he do that? PFF scores haven't been great, but again, you're getting a player on the uptick, and that's what you're hoping you're going to get. Now, he was drafted the same class as Javon Kinlaw. Much later, he went in the third round. And if you just look at that defensive tackle class, not great. Turns out Justin Matabuke was by far the gem. He went in the third round as well. 21.5 sacks. Second is Derek Brown. He went ahead of Kinlaw with 8. And then Jordan Elliot and Javon Kinlaw are tied for third most sacks of that defensive tackle class with 5. So, you're jumping down from Kinlaw. He's not near as big as Kinlaw. I don't know if anybody is. But you're getting that same kind of production in the pass game. Can he do as much in the run game? That's the question. The size advantage that he's developed says that he should be able to. So, Kinlaw finished his time in the 49ers. That playoff run was special. He was incredible. Can Jordan Elliott pick up there? That's what you're hoping. Now, he's not there to replace Kinlaw, but you lost Kinlaw. You got Jordan Elliott. Kinlaw got paid twice as much as Elliott, right? So you're getting a discounted defensive tackle. And again, I'm not saying Elliott's here to replace Kinlaw or that narrative, whatever else, but it's pretty damn easy to get the similarities. They're drafted in the same class. Now they're both, played for the same 49ers team, all those things, same coach. That's there. Look at he had 556 total snaps last year. That's 42% of the Browns' snaps. We don't ask our defensive tackles to get that many snaps. He was a starter for them. He's not going to start for us, right? So I think he started 14 games last year. He started 14 games for the Browns, who I think had the best defense in the NFL. He's not a starter for us. Malik Collins, Javon Hargrave are our starters. He's going to be that number 3 rotational Bravo group. I'm probably going to be him and Kevin Givens out there. Jordan Elliott will play the bigger, plugger role, and Kevin Givens will play the slasher role. Now, you look at his career, 1,918 defensive snaps, 326 special team snaps. PFF grades, not great last year. 46.5 overall, that's bad. 45.5 run, that's bad. 62.3 pass rush, good. 74.6 special teams, great. We'll see. You know, we did a full breakdown of his tape over on the 49ersrush.com and our Patreon page. Go check it out. And I walked away thinking, yeah, this is fun tape. Like, this fits what the 49ers do. It really, really does. Now, drafted 3rd round, like I said, in 2020 by Cleveland, 88th overall. Here's the rest of my write-up pre-draft. Lateral quickness insane. Not the best at the point of attack, but it's not a liability there. He's added 20 pounds. That's increased. He can anchor better. Pass rushing stud. This is where, right here, I said, could be an 8 sack a year per guy. I was bullish on his pass rush ability. Ideal build and style for today's NFL. That was correct. The sack production, not there. He's got 5 career sacks. I compared him to Nathan Shepard with a higher ceiling. I had an early 2nd round grade on him. He went in the 3rd round. So I was higher on him than most. Obviously, the 49ers were going to draft 2 defensive tackles, Kinlaw and Elliott, but I did think Jordan Elliott was a backup plan. I kept saying that. Go back to my mock drafts back then. I remember, if you don't get a defensive tackle early, Jordan Elliott's the guy you get in the 2nd, 3rd round. And I think the Niners were on that trajectory as well. It just didn't work out that way. His career numbers, 98 tackles, 8 tackle for losses. That's good. 10 quarterback hits. That's good. 5 sacks, 4 pass breakups. He makes his space known on the inside. And he's a better disruptor than he is production guy. That's kind of what the NFL's going after. I know it upsets the fans when the sack numbers aren't as high as you want them to be. This is a positive player. This is a player that plays team-style pass rush that makes everybody else around him better. Who was the defensive player of the year last year? Myles Garrett. A big reason why that was guys like Jordan Elliott that can press the pocket and stop the quarterback from stepping up. Instead, they got to retreat. That makes the arc easier to run on the, for the defensive ends. Nick Bosa, right? Leonard Floyd. Push the pocket. We've got one of the best defensive ends in the NFL. Make their job easier. And with Hargrave and Jordan Elliott, you got 2 of those guys that can literally push the pocket and pass pro. I think that's huge. I really do. Injuries haven't been bad at all. Very minor. Played a lot of games. Started 34 games for them, 14 last year. He's played in 66 games. Health, you're getting health. You're getting durability. You're getting somebody that's played a lot in college, that's played a lot in the NFL. You know what he is. He signed a 2-year, $7 million contract with the 49ers, so average $3.5 million a year. Again, look what Kinlaw got. Look what we're paying. This is an area where we could save a little bit of money and hopefully get a similar style, cap hit and all that. $2.1 million cap hit this year. In his career, he's made $7.3 million so far. Love that. Make your money, man. I absolutely love it when people make money. Now, let's look at the depth chart. 49ers usually keep 5 to 6. Jordan Elliott's a lock. Period. Your starters, Hargrave, Malik Collins. The Bravo group, Jordan Elliott, Kevin Givens. I think the top 4, that's solidified. Being at training camp, that's what it is. Now, the guys after that, and this is my updated depth chart based on the rotations at training camp. T.Y. McGill, Kalia Davis. I don't think Kalia Davis had a great camp yet. It's not bad, but not great. Evan Anderson, Shaquille Brown. Like, you've kind of got this 1, 2, 3, 4, these 8 guys. You keep 5 to 6. Elliott's making it. It's just, is Elliott closer to the Bravo group, or is he going to push Collins for some more starter snaps? I doubt it. I think they just want this healthy rotation and sliding all that stuff in. So I like Jordan Elliott. I tried to get that out of the way early. I've been high on him since high school, college. I was higher on him than most in the NFL draft. I'm very thankful. I love this signing. But can he be that guy that can anchor against double teams? That's probably the biggest question. If he could do that and keep this Bravo group from getting run on, that's been an issue in the past for the 49ers for probably the past 4 or 5 years. When Armstead went out there, it got bad. Armstead's not going to be there anymore. So can somebody else step up and anchor? I think Malik Collins on the starting group, Jordan Elliott on the Bravo group. It's a projection, but it's a projection the 49ers are banking on. And I'm with them. I like this kid. I always thought he was just going to be a pass rusher. I was wrong. I like saying whenever I'm wrong, and whenever I'm wrong in a good way. So I'm excited, man. Jordan Elliot, hook 'em, baby. I don't even know if he claims Texas anymore, but that's okay. Go get it done. Number 27 on our countdown, and for us, we'll just keep counting them down, guys.